All right. So, big thing going on right now with you and AEW. We got the Continental Classic going on. You're already positive points in the brackets. Talk to me about what it would mean to be the first person to not only, take those two titles from Kingston, but to hold this new title that is being introduced as kind of a Triple Crown prize.
Yeah, but I think it wouldn't be bad. But, there's a lot of belts, so, belts come and go, and, they're what you make them. I've never seen a belt get anybody over in my life, personally. I've seen people get belts over, but, that's a thing that, they come and go in their devices, and, you make, it's whatever you make them, If you treat them important, they become important. If you treat them like a joke, they become a joke. But they're not, they're not the whole story, People don't, pack arenas to look at, shiny pieces of, metal and jewels or whatever the fuck they are, But, being the first ever of these, Continental Classics, maybe this is the only one. Maybe it's a fucking brawl for all situation, and it's a thing that only happens one time, or it's a thing that becomes, an annual thing, or a once every couple of years thing, or something that people in the future, young wrestlers want to do, and something that there are those things like G1s and stuff like that, those, kind of the prestige tournaments on the indies and stuff that kind of build up a reputation. And, King of the Ring used to be like that, where it's a kind of a destination to prove yourself for like a young guy kind of thing. So it could be a thing we turn into in the future is, make Continental Classic kind of a destination where guys want to go and show your skills. So this being the first one, I think kind of the everybody involved in it wants it to be good, and to kind of so being kind of you're going to be kind of always you kind of always be connected to it if you're the first one to win it, the inaugural Continental Classic winner. So, that would be cool. Especially if it becomes like a big important thing that people look forward to in the future. So, that would be cool. But, for me, I think everybody in the tournament is kind of, I think there's a little bit of, competitiveness and a little bit of pride in your work kind of thing, and a little bit of, even though we're all competitors against each other, there's almost like a team spirit kind of attitude of like everybody's going in to bust their ass and make this, the best tournament possible, and really show the world, what they can do, and what we can all do, and the kind of wrestling we can put on TV. And the main comparison that everybody's going to give it to is the G1, because it's at its core, it's basically the same idea. It's a round robin tournament. And I think, much like I think we have to be different than what the competition does, what WWE does, what anything else on TV does, and we have to always be different and always be an alternative and be something, give things that you can see nowhere else, and be our own product. Much in that way, we don't want to just do the exact same thing as a G1. And I think at every turn that we can make this a little bit different than a G1, we should. I don't make any decisions, so my only job is to wrestle, so I don't know. But if it were up to me, I would think that it would be cool to try to make this a little bit different than a G1 at every turn that we can, especially for a Western audience, cool thing about a G1 is, storytelling is, very deep and it's very nuanced. And for a Western audience, sometimes that might kind of get lost in translation. Little details and small subtleties of storytelling, like a little thing a guy said in an interview or a comment he made backstage or a Tokyo Sports interview that was translated through an app might not have come through the exact same way. So a lot of times, stuff slips through the cracks. I watch a lot of Japanese wrestling, especially like smaller promotions in Japan. And you have to do a lot of legwork to kind of make sure you get all the details of all the subtleties of the story that we're telling. That if I spoke Japanese, it would be real easy. But, so my point is that, we have my point is that we have an opportunity to make it a little bit easier to add a little bit more nuance and subtleties and human stories very simply. And we have a 2-hour television show to do that. So, and, another difference between this and the G1, obviously, of which there are many, the New Japan product and business model and, everything is a totally different thing than American weekly pro wrestling. I hate to say the word episodic, but just so you know what I'm saying.
Sure.
American weekly television, where the story just keeps going on, like, for lack of a better term, like soap opera style storytelling. Like, that's a totally different thing than the New Japan, system. And, but the good thing is that gives us an opportunity to, like, okay, we have a 2-hour TV show every week to utilize different, storytelling methods, and like I said, I don't make any decisions, so I don't know what that would be, if that's video packages, if that's interviews, if that's sit-down interviews, if that's, little countdown pieces, or if it's graphics, or like whatever it is. But, I think one of the keys is definitely getting people to know the stories and know the characters and the humans behind, the humans that are these athletes that are going out there and busting their ass and putting their body on the line for a prize at the end. Because you're going to see all these people, in a tournament like this, there's no being one and done. You're going to wrestle a bunch of times no matter what. And, even if you're down at the end, you're still going to want to go out in a high note. So everybody's going to be given 100% all the way till the end. And, you're going to see the best that everybody has to offer. So to get to know the people behind these, behind the characters, behind the athletes, behind the mask, so to speak, is I think the key to making this a little bit different from a G1, especially to a Western audience.